This very well could be the best war movie I have ever seen. What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to a brand new movie review on the YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be reviewing All Quiet on the Western Front. This movie came out literally this morning, and my God, was it good. This movie does wonders, man. This movie is so good. And judging by the reviews right now and the Rotten Tomatoes, I could see that you guys are enjoying it too. This movie takes place near the end of World War I, and we're following this German soldier named Paul Baumer. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm sorry. We're following his story of being a German soldier in World War I and battling on the Western Front. This movie does an amazing job portraying World War I. It almost compares to the movie 1917, if you guys have ever seen that movie. That movie's amazing. This movie's amazing. I couldn't decide which one I enjoyed better. Visually, this movie is so appealing, and you can definitely tell Netflix put a little bit of a budget into this movie because some of the shots in this movie were perfect. The soundtrack was there. It was hitting, and I almost started crying at the very end. It was that emotional. I was feeling what these soldiers were feeling in World War I. Like, it's insane how amazing this movie actually is. As much as I want to say this movie was super beautiful and perfect, there was a lot of blood, there was a lot of gruesome scenes, there was a lot of death in this movie, and some of the fighting sequences were awesome. I know one part Paul was beating this guy with a shovel, and it was pretty brutal. He also beat a guy with his helmet. The guns weren't very good back then, so you have to use your bayonet a lot of the time, and there's a lot of bayonet kills. I counted like 30, maybe 40 watching this. It's just insane. I literally cannot tell you how wonderful this movie was. I was very impressed. I knew going into this movie it was going to be amazing, and my God, it knocked my freaking socks off. Like, I have socks on right now, but trust me, it knocked them off. They walked out of my room. I just can't wrap my head around how brutal World War I actually was. And like I said before, this movie does so well portraying World War I that I just can't even explain it. You guys have to watch it for yourself. It is beautiful. It was intense. It was scary. It was sad. Like I said, I almost started crying at the end of the movie. It was that intense. You're following this German soldier in World War I and losing all of his brothers and all of the comrades that he has. And it's just, it's so horrific. It really is. So if I'm going to rate this movie, I'm probably going to give it a 9 out of 10. I genuinely enjoyed this movie to the start to the end. It kept me engaged, it kept me pleased, and it was so good. Okay, guys, we are moving on from the review portion. Now we are going to be starting the spoiler section. If you guys do not want to hear any spoilers, click off this video right now. We're starting the spoiler section in 3, 2, 1. So like I said, this movie follows the soldier Paul Baumer in World War I, and it's amazing. He's played by Felix Kammerer. If I'm pronouncing that wrong again, I'm so sorry. I'm terrible with names. The movie starts off with him joining the war with a bunch of friends from school, I think it is, and they end up all dying on him. He has nobody in this movie. And it's so, war is so scary, and I feel so bad for all these soldiers that fought in World War I. And every war, to be matter of fact. It's just a very scary feeling. My heart was beating on one part because I was so nervous and so scared of what war can actually be. And I really feel for Paul in this movie because he has to go through it all. At the beginning of this movie, we get the shot of them stealing a goose from a homestead and they're running away with it. And it's very, very interesting seeing them being so happy to see food. And later on in the movie, they actually go back to that same house and try to steal another one. One of Paul's friends actually dies doing it again. So in a way, this movie kind of, I wouldn't say like, it's hard to wrap my head around it. And the last 15 minutes of the movie were basically the soldiers told that they had to fight for the last 15 minutes of the war. And this crazy battle at the end of the movie was insane. And Paul actually dies at the end of the movie. And I was like, no way they killed him. 1 minute. He was 1 minute away from the war ending. 1 minute. And he ends up dying. And it's so sad. And I literally almost started crying. Now, this movie, I wouldn't say had any like memorable characters except Paul. Like he was the main character and he definitely showed it. It was amazing. Like I said, if you guys have not watched All Quiet on the Western Front, you need to check it out. It's on Netflix right now. Go watch it. Thank you guys so much for watching this movie review. If you guys did enjoy, and if you guys do enjoy my movie reviews, I'm trying to get better at doing them. I know I'm not as entertaining as you want me to be, but I do try my best. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next movie review. Peace.